had something on my mind, and as I was reading through my Proverbs, there came a verse, couple of verses that kind of spoke to it. So I want to talk about it this morning. In Proverbs 24, verses 5 and 6, it says, "A wise warrior is better than a strong one, and a man of knowledge than one of strength. For you should wage war with sound guidance. Victory comes with many counselors." It's a great piece of wisdom. We shouldn't do things without getting good guidance, right? And there's 2 points that I want to make on this. And the first one I see all the time. People come to me and they ask me a question. What doesn't matter what it is. They want direction. They want guidance. "Pastor, this is what's going on in my life. This is what I want to do." And I give them the guidance, the direction that I believe that's absolutely from God, that's biblical, that directs them on the path that they're supposed to go. It's not what they wanted to hear. And they'll go off and they'll ask 30 other people, and they'll find 2 or 3 that will say, "Yeah, you should do that." And then they say, "Well, I've gathered up my wise counselors and they've all said I should do it, so I'm going to go off and do it." And I've even had conversations with individuals in the midst of doing the thing that I and others had advised that probably wasn't biblical, wasn't good counsel to do. And they said, "Well, I did what Solomon said in Proverbs, and I gathered wise counsel, and I had multiple people tell me it was going to be okay, so I did it." Every time you go against the Bible, every time I go against the Bible, I've watched it fail. Doesn't matter how many counselors I get that tell me it's a good idea, right? So that's the first point. Make sure that the counselors that you gather around you are all following biblical directives when they give counsel. Because if they're following worldly wisdom, it may sound really good and it may direct your path and it may do something nice for you, but in the long run, it's going to fail. And it may take a while before it fails, but it will fail, I promise you. So that's the first point. If you're going to get many counselors, make sure that you listen to the counselors that are giving biblical advice, directives from God. That's the first point. The second point is, and this one I see often as well, you'll be in a room, somebody will be talking, and you'll have 5 people that heard that person say X, Y, and Z. And everybody's convinced that's what the person said. But there's one person in the room that says, "No, that's not what he said. He said A, B, and C." And everybody is convinced, "No, he said X, Y, and Z." Who should you listen to? The multitude that said that he said X, Y, and Z. I mean, that sounds right. You can't have 6 people all think the same thing and not have it be true, can you? Except for the person that said, "No, he said ABC." Had it confirmed by the person that was speaking that he said ABC. So 1 counselor got it right. 6 counselors heard what they wanted to hear because of their worldly experience. So we have to be sure that we're checking the source as well. When we're experiencing counsel, we need to make sure we know the source of that counsel. So often, people get it wrong. I mean, how is it possible that you can have thousands of people that will tell you that the Bible says that as long as you're a good person, you'll get to heaven? and just a few that say being good isn't good enough. You have to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. How can you have someone say, I only have to tell God my sin? Thousands of people, I only have to tell God my sin. And a few that'll tell you, no, you have to share it with other people as well so that you can be healed. That's what James says in James 5:16. How about this one? Do not buy a 97 Harley Davidson Electra Glide with the fuel injection. The Evo motor is a strong motor, but that fuel injection is notoriously horrible. You're going to hate that bike the rest of your life. It's not worth the money. Don't spend it. Don't get it. Good advice, by the way, if it's not running well. But I have learned that, and I'm going to say this wrong, Magnus Marcelli fuel injection, the first one that Harley came out with, it either worked or it didn't. And once you hit 50,000 miles on a bike, if it's running okay, the odds of that fuel injection quitting, pretty slim, because it's probably failed by that point. Yes, you'll have other issues with the bike that are normal for an aged bike, but the fuel injection shouldn't be your deciding factor unless it's acting up, right? But I have had hundreds upon hundreds of people tell me that my bike, it's not one to ride. It's dangerous. It's not worth having. And I've had just a very few that had real wisdom that understood that fuel injection either worked or it didn't. And mine happens to be one that came out the factory in working order. And I'm grateful for that. Now, if it quits tomorrow, well, then I have some decisions to make, right? But I've put on almost 20,000 miles on that bike since I got it. And I am really grateful for what I've gotten out of it. And it's been worth everything. I love Grace, which is what we named our Harley Davidson. Wise counsel is important, but you got to examine the source. I don't care if you've got 1,000 people telling you one thing if their source is wrong, or if their source is muddied by what they heard instead of what the truth is. It's incredibly important that we remember that today. I love y'all. I hope you have a great day. God bless.